Life's a gamble, Charles. Now, what can I tell you?
What can you tell her? What do you tell your sister about shooting dice with my life?
Well, to be honest, Charles, she isn't exactly my sister.
But then who is she?
Probably the most highly paid seductress in the world. We use her whenever there's someone like you. Now, why don't you go on back in the lab and whip us up a batch of that antidote? When it works, you'll be a wealthy man. If it doesn't, of course, it's goodbye, Charlie.
No, please. Let me go.
Terrific. Makes a lot of noise. Would you mind turning it off now? Thank you. But why don't you just close the door?
Oh, it's always roasting in here. Just stay right out there, whoever you are. And who are you?
Thomas Sloane. I'm looking for Dr. Charles Franklin. Your car was up at his cabin 2 nights ago. And so is your face. Now, may I come in?
No. But since you are in, you get to pay the cover charge.
You're a private investigator?
The Brighton Detective Agency. We happen to have been retained by Dr. Franklin's wife on a matter which I am not at liberty to discuss. Now, if you would just assume the position.
So, Franklin's wife knows he's been fooling around on her, huh?
I didn't say that. Why are you sitting down? Now, I didn't say anything about sitting down. In fact, Buster, if you don't get up right now and assume the position, come on.
Wait a
get
minute.
apart.
Whatever happened to professional courtesy?
What do you mean?
How long have you been a private investigator?
Well, actually, I am rather a recent licensee. Why? What is it to you?
First case, huh?
What did you mean about professional courtesy?
Well, we think that Franklin may be involved in industrial espionage.
You're kidding. Really?
What is this?
Oh, that is a homing device. See, you stick this on the subject person or vehicle, and then you just refer to all these little lights and dials on the receiving instrument, and voila! You can find the subject or follow him. Oh, those are the instructions right there. It's a little tricky.
For $29.95.
Oh, yeah. That's a very fine mail order house, by the way. You know, having a device like this when you need it, in our business, you just never know.
Yes, that's true. Anyway, thank you. We think that Franklin disappeared with one of his girlfriends.
Oh, I think Charlene is the only one he's been seeing.
Charlene. You know her? You've seen her?
Well, no, not quite, not yet. But I will. The Brighton Detective Agency is not going to regret having entrusted this case to a new licensee. I can guarantee that.
Charlene, what last name do you have on her?
Aha, the last name. Now that I am right on the edge of, right on the edge.
But you are sure that Charlene's the first name?
Yes. I saw it on his desk calendar when I searched his cabin just 2 days ago. Right after he went out. Charlene and a phone number where they were going to meet for cocktails. In fact, I copied it down. In fact, the phone number turned out to be a place called, Cambro. It's a private club. I tried to wheedle my own way into their VIP room, but, I think they have gaming tables or something back there.
Cambro. That's got to be Jonathan Cambro.
Do you know the owner?
No, not personally. From time to time, we play on opposite teams.
having another little something for you in about 3 weeks, my dear.
I doubt if I'll be available, Jonathan. I'm thinking about retiring. I'm very wealthy now, and I'm very pretty. And I think I may go out and enjoy it.
Don't be silly. You're not some clerk in a store.
And I'm not cartel either. I'm an independent contractor, and I work when I want to or not.
If you believe that, then you really are being silly. Now do yourself a favor and think a little more. My dear, you're the best. And you have so much knowledge of what we at Cartel do.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. I've already made up my mind.
Oh, I'm sorry, too. They're going to miss you. Felix, you see that you don't miss her. Granville Institute, Dr. Eckhart, Cartel.
Let's just get on with it, Jonathan. I've missed the formula. Why torture me?
Eckhart?
The microbes have been released. And now the antidote. 2, 3, 7.
Getting the microbe. Now, without an antidote, we've got nothing.
I'm not sure. Of course.
What?
Well, there seems to be a step missing. Yes. This formula is definitely not complete. One equation is missing.
That's crazy. Wouldn't Franklin have known that?
You told me he was a biologist, not a chemist. He would know how to make a formula according to these notes, but he might not know if one of the pages was missing.
That idiot. He probably left one of the pages up in that cabin of his.
Until you find it, we cannot know if an antidote exists or not. In which case, Mr. Cambro, I'm afraid we've let Cartel down.
Thomas?
Torque, I'm inside. I'll try and keep Cambro out of his office as long as possible.
I hope so, because if I try to go through the man's office while he's still in it, I predict a very noisy evening.
I'm sorry, but the guest privileges only extend to the bar and dining areas.
Oh. Well, I was told that if I needed a reference for the golf room.
Thank you. You're absolutely sure it's nowhere in that cabin?
We tore the place apart, Mr. Cambro.
I examined every piece of paper. There was nothing in Dr. Franklin's cabin which would be a part of the formula.
Eckhart, for $1,000. Tell me where this red ace goes.
Oh, no, thank you, Mr. Cambro. I never gamble.
Then it's time you began, Eckhart. The red ace for $1,000.
Coming out for a point. Shooting at Tibet down. 7 up front line. Went up.
All right.
Same lucky shooter. 7 again up front line. Went up 8 up front line.
Yes, Felix, I understand. He's making sure we do notice him. But knowing which name to flash as a reference to get in here, that makes him dangerous.
I'm perfectly aware that it's a private room, but I'm joining my husband in there. And don't try to tell me that he hasn't arrived yet, because I happened to see him pull up just a little while ago.
Oh, I'm sorry, no one's left word. Your husband is already in the gold room, Mrs.
Sloane, Mrs. Thomas Sloane.
This way, please.
Well, imagine that.
Seven again. Front line went up. They all up in front line. 11.
Page 21.
You're very skillful, Mr. Sloane.
I try, Mr. Cambro, I try.
Well, one so seldom finds a really worthy adversary these days. Let's see how they fall, shall we?
Evening, ma'am.
Hi. Has Charlene been in tonight?
I seem to remember running across a man called Sloane once before. Not personally. It was 2, maybe 3 years ago. As I remember, he was very serious about a very lovely young lady. Lovely but meddlesome. I believe she died. I don't quite recall how.
It was 3 years ago. I recall exactly how.
Ah. And it was from being meddlesome, wasn't it?
Blackjack.
I am a licensed private investigator, and I know where Dr. Charles Franklin goes. And what he does, and with whom, all of his little peccadillos. I have been up to that cabin of his that he takes Charlene to, and I am sitting here because he meets her here. Oh, okay. Look, maybe you don't know Charlene, and maybe you don't know Charles Franklin by name, but I just happen to have a little